Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Myrsya Afiqah from BA1185A.
My name is Nur Emylia Azureen binti Zaifun Nazim and I am from BA1185E.
My name is Emy Natasha binti I am from class BA1185A.
My name is Aaina Nur Sofea and I wish you have a nice day.
Hi, I am Verona Nattalye Tranica binti and I'm from BA1185A.
As I assume, based on the title, you already know what this topic will cover. Nowadays, we hear a lot of news about bullying incidents that have become common in our country. Yet, bullies are not subject to any strict legislation. What exactly is bullying? Bullying is defined as undesired, violent behavior that is either realistic or believed to be abusive among school-age youngsters. The action is repeated or has the possibility of being repeated again in the future. Both bullied kids and individuals who physically assault others are at a high likelihood of developing serious long-term problems. There are two requirements for a behavior to be labeled bullying. The first one is a power differential. For instance, a bully who uses his or her physical strength to bully others will also use their words to damage or harm the victim. The second stage is repetitive, in which the bullying occurs more than once and the victim finds it destructive to their regular activities because the bully is likely to repeat the act. Based on stopbullying.gov, bullying includes actions such as making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and excluding someone from a group on purpose. It's a very concerning issue as there have been few victims that have passed away because of bullying or rage. Furthermore, the victims may also develop serious physical or mental illness during their lifetime. I wonder what the causes of bullying cases are still increasing these days.
Thank you Myrsya Afiqah for the explanation. So now we know bullying consists in two ways, which is physical and mental. But what are the causes of bullying? Students are bullied for a lot of reasons. Students who involved in this bullying is commonly to seeking social attention because of loneliness. Bullies are often lonely and crave for attention, also the desire to be perceived as brave and confident. So they try to find attention in any way they can, even if that means hampering someone's mental health or causing them physical health problems. Though there are a lot of ways to get attention and be at limelight, bullying seems to be the easiest and the coolest way to do so. Some students who bully others actually have low self-esteem. They try to compensate this feeling by picking on others and feel a sense of accomplishment by doing so. It may give them a good feeling, but it is only temporary, so they tend to do it habitually, not knowing that this feeling of elation greatly affects their victim.
The causes mentioned by Emilia can affect the victims. The victims will have negative psychological, physical, and the academic effects due to the bullying behavior. The psychological effects of bullying to the victims include depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and self-harming behavior. The victims become ashamed and scared that the people surrounding have a bad thought about themselves. For example, the victims assume and thought that people surrounding look at her as a weak person because it's easy to get bullied. Usually, the victims doesn't have friends and being alone all the time. Due to the reason, it can increase the anxiety and stress on the victims as they cannot express the feeling and problems to anybody. Having a bad mental health are very dangerous because it can lead to death, as I mentioned the self-harming behavior. The victims also can have a physical effect as it can be very obvious and immediate, such as injury due to the physical attack. Physical attack could be very dangerous and chronic to the victims. On 1st June 2017, Zulfarhan's death as a victim of bullying at UPNM, University Pertahanan Awam Malaysia, been heartbreaking news to the Malaysians. Zulfarhan was bullied by 19 UPNM students by sticking a steam iron with 90 presses all over his body, that causing his death. Can you imagine how it can affect the victims? This tragic story proves that physical impact on victims of bullying can lead to chronic effects and death. Furthermore, the victim's family may experience stress and depression due to the physical effects experienced on the victim due to the bullying. Apart from that, bullying can affect the academics of the victims. The victims tend to have lower grades, unable to do homework and perform in the class. The victims have lost their self-confidence to perform in the class because afraid to be judged and judged by the people surrounding. Usually, the victim is often absent from school because of trauma and anxiety. It causes them to skip lessons and unable to do homework and having lower grades in the school. Being alone and trauma at the school make them too lazy to come to school. School should be the best place to students play and learn to deal with friends but it different with the victims.
As we notice, bullying affects the victim severely. Bullies can be an exception from getting the effects. So now, I will state some consequences of bullying to the bullies. The first consequence is ruining their future. I believe people know about Zulfarhan case, right? From that bullying case, the bullies were sentenced to be in a prison for a long-term period and almost being punished, hanging to death. The judge sentenced them by giving them suitable punishment. This shows that bullies will get punished either youth students or adults fairly. Furthermore, if the bullies were underage, they will go to Henry Gurney School. This action will make them face a lot of problems throughout their life. Besides, they will ruin their family image and reputation. Their family must be ashamed to face their neighborhood, their relations, and their colleagues. What if their parents were someone that well known by people? I believe that it must be hard for them to go throughout their life. So, before you start being a bully, please think about your family first. The next effect was lack of self-care. Once they start bullying, it can make them feel that they own the person and can do anything. Aside from that, bullies are more likely to engage in illegal activities such as vandalism and violence, both in and out of school. Moreover, they can become worse from time to time, such as start robbing and quarreling. Besides, bullies are more prone to experience depression, which can result in academic issues, frequent absence from school, anxiety, and school isolation. This issue can make them stop learning and start to not love themselves. They tend to be more aggressive and hurt themselves due to anxiety. Thus, bullying is not a good thing to do and should not be a habit among people. In addition, this can make them suffer from a long-term psychological problem if they don't seek help from an expert. So, if you're having some weird kind of feeling or sense to hurt people, please refer to psychologists because prevent is better than cure.
In conclusion, bullying has an impact on both the victims and the aggressor. While those who have been bullied will experience pain and insecurity as a result of the bully's actions, those who bully others will experience remorse and be tormented by their history, especially if their victims did not survive the abuse. This is because the bully victims usually tend to commit suicide because they cannot stand the humiliation of the situations that they are in, which is bullying. We also need to be aware that bullying can result in not only physical discomfort and insecurity, depending on the age of the victim, but also psychological difficulties in certain victims. As a parent, they also play an important role in order to prevent bullying from occurring or to check whether their children are part of the bully or even the bully victims. Even though many bully victims are afraid to speak out, but as a parent, they need to be aware of the indicators and changes in their children's behavior, such as they will flinch frequently or they are afraid to look others in their eyes. This is a sign that they may be the bully victims. and parents need to be aware of these signs. As a result, it is apparent that the impacts of bullying may have a significant impact on those who have been bullied. To prevent bullying from occurring, we need to be aware of the situation of the people around us by recognizing the signs that they may have been bullied and assist and help them to get out from the situation by reporting this bully or the situation to higher ups or to the people that are responsible. By doing that, we'll not only be able to prevent bullying from happening, but we will also be able to save the victims from their pain and trauma. We will also be able to build humanity and trust among people. That's all for the conclusion. Thank you.